Hey everyone, it's been a while since I did my last video. Lots of things happened. If you're still subscribed to me, thank you very much. Obviously, I cannot play Final Fantasy Brave Exvius anymore. That game sadly closed down, not only in the global version, that was already a year ago. Also, the JP version closed down in October, if I'm not totally mistaken. So it's been a while. I never really played the JP version of that game. I'm not a fan of playing games twice, so never come to that. I still enjoyed my time, but as many of you know, or the ones that still followed me to the very end, I moved over to Epic 7. It's a game that I started to play 4 years ago, when the Esper banner came around. I believe that was 4 years ago. Time really flies, huh? Anyway, so Smilegate opened up the gates, pun intended in this case, for new creators. So I figured I've got my life figured out already. It's going smoothly, and I do have some free time. So I'll start making videos again. I always low-key enjoyed it, especially when it's easy to make. And I'm applying for the content creator program for CCP, kind of funny abbreviation here. And yeah, I'll be starting it off with the latest unit that came out. It's Hecate, I believe is her name, or how it's pronounced. I've seen Hecate, I don't know. They're using probably AI voiceovers or some guy who has two different pronunciations of her in the announcement video, so I'm just calling her Hecate. Let's check her out real quick, how I built her. This build, I'll say it right away, just a preliminary build. It's just slapped on gear. I just used this manage equipment button and gave her whatever the game threw at it. So this is not troubled. This is actually not my build. You'll see in the guild portion of this video how I usually build her. That said, I've used an RTA with this very exact build 1 or 2 times over the last week since she came out. She heavily underperforms. And I'll show a few examples of how she underperforms against me, because I checked my latest RTA games and I found at least one where you can see her weakness very clearly. And then I'll do some arena videos where I show how to use her properly in quotation marks, because you cannot. She's highly dependent on the warfare set that comes out on January 8th. Which I'll be going for, but I don't know how fast I'll get good gear for her, because she's kind of gear dependent. She needs high attack, she needs very high bulk, good speed as well. The rest doesn't really matter. She cannot crit, for example. That's a good thing though in this case. So it also helps against Moonlight, Selene and all that kind of stuff. But she's not easy to build. She has very high requirements, especially in terms of gear quality. Take it as a second coming of Bystander Huayong, for example, who also wants super high gear score just so she can function properly. Hecate, kind of the same deal, and I'm low-key afraid that even the warfare set, which reduces cooldowns of any skills at the start of the battle to 0, you all know by now that she starts with full 6-turn cooldown on her S3, which is the most important part of the kit, next to her immortality block passive and revive passive. So we'll have to see. But enough words, let's get down to some games and I'll show where she excels and where she really doesn't excel at the moment. Alright, we've got our first game. It's just an arena game that I'm live testing, so to say. I obviously can't record these and then just show it off. So with that, here's it's a classic comp where you have Setsuka, where you have Lady of the Scales, both super annoying. And this is the team I'll be using. Luna and Lua are both my staples here. Absolutely don't need both. The upside of my Lua is she's top speed, right? Super high effectiveness as well. My Luna is in speed RNG range. Usually she doesn't, but there is always the possibility that she will outspeed, in which case, so be it. We've got my Freerun at 254, so she will certainly not speed RNG. She usually goes after the Lady of the Scales. And then we've got, the Hecate, 221, 3.7k attack, etc., etc. You've seen this stuff. Usually, if this was a Guild War, for example, comp, I just go for a tank build with 40k HP. And we'll see that later in the video how that does turn out to be. So let's go and see how this fares. Usually this doesn't fail, but usually doesn't mean anything. She's on double crescent, meaning we won't get lethal whisper to, which is pretty good. On the flip side, there's a higher chance of her countering when I miss her. So yes, we do exhaust our souls here, but that doesn't matter. We get 4 souls back right away. And what this allows us is we can now freely attack the Freeran, we can freely attack everybody here. This will highly likely trigger Bystander Fire. She cannot kill anybody other than Luna here, but we're good in that case. Nothing much happens, so we are free to attack. I'll just tag the Freeran here. Unsurprisingly, I do proc Fire, but again, this doesn't matter. She doesn't kill Hecate, which is nice. And what this allows us to do is we A, kill Setsuka here, and that's the huge upside of Hecate. As I've seen, no immortality cannot be gained. And from here on out, it's just, we can do whatever we want, right? There is no more potential for counterattacks, no more potential for dodges. All the mitigation is gone, and the game is won, because Freeran cannot ever lose to Wire. And yeah, that's one of the pillars of Hecate. She does make this a lot easier, so to say. We got the same comp right here. I pretty much know who this is, and if I'm not totally mistaken, he's running a trap comp with a super fast Yulha that will cut my Luna, but we'll play it out anyway, just to see how this goes. And usually what this entails is that aggro comps, such as these, I know this doesn't look like an aggro comp, but trust me, it very much is, Hecate loses. And we'll see why this is the case. I do get outsped, okay, which makes things a little bit easier for me in this case. So, let's see. Luna survives this, she does too. So we'll burn the... Yulha will push her in front if I'm not totally mistaken. She did not, huh. But yeah. And now we do have one small issue, that is the Yulha will push the Setsuka in front of me and blind me. Usually spells bad news here. In that case, it's still somewhat okay, because we can still soul burn. However, our Freeran is in slight trouble, and that slight trouble is that she's dead. As you can see, these aggro comps, especially with Yulha and a fast Lady of the Scales on the set, not on the set, but on Soul Constellation, it does spell trouble. So this comp that I usually run doesn't work as well. I will highly likely miss here and then lose out on... She's not on a reversal. Odd, but it helps. Enemy dual attacks. That's fine, I suppose. But yeah, we are in a position where we cannot win anymore, because the Setsuka is going to destroy us. And that's, like I said, one of the huge weaknesses of Hecate. When she's faring against aggro comps, she just cannot win. Now, one might say, I picked bad units. So we can try something entirely different. We can try and tank this down. Now that we know that the enemy is super fast, we can go... Actually, let me just pick Fallen Cecilia. I'll pick Maid. And yes, Maid, technically speaking, isn't a clever alternative here, because might get hammered. On the flip side, we do have one full dispel here, so the S2 doesn't matter as much. But still, we're gonna get hammered quite a lot even. And what you're essentially doing is you're playing 3v4 because Hecate on her own, she's just a passive stick, so she doesn't really do much. Alright, let's take some damage. It's good for us that it's running into Freeran because Freeran cannot take damage. Yulha's gonna push Setsuka again. All good, all good. You get countered on the Freeran here. It's all good, all good. And then we'll cleanse it off with Maid Chloe, and we are fine again. So knowing that, I will get countered regardless of what I do, most likely. It is Arena, after all. It's just S3, get the counter off, deal some damage to Setsuka, she lethal Whisper does too. Alright, let's cleanse it all off here. And then we are good to go, because Setsuka lost her only dispel, which is nice for us. And then we can start to wear the enemy team down. I will always target non-Setsuka units just so we don't trigger her counterattacks. Let's get ourselves skill now. And as you can see, even with all the mitigation or all the damage limiter days, because she has 50k something HP, it just takes a while to whittle her damage or HP down. He sadly missed here. She lethals again. And yeah, just 2 more turns, but what's more likely to happen is that she is going to proc her passive now, S2, on one of the next attacks, and then we'll see what happens. But I'm fairly certain that she won't be able to... Actually, she will be able to kill off Maid Chloe here. Let's maybe fish for a stun. We got the stun, which is very nice. The good thing is that Hecate will always survive. Maybe we can even kill Setsuka, that'd be extremely good for us. We actually did. And she cannot be brought back now. So all that's left for us to do is control... Actually, that doesn't make sense. I should not have soulburned this. She cleanses it off anyway. But yeah, as long as we can control the Renarch and eventually kill this Renarch, which we'll be able to, because the enemy lost all his damage, I can now soulburn. I will soulburn on the Yulha, take away the last bastion of actual threat here. Well, almost took her away. And yeah, this should be good for us. Skeletal freeze. Renard will S3 as well. And then our Freeran will finish off the Yulha, and from there on out we cannot lose anymore. So there she goes, and this game is virtually over. The enemy does not have enough firing power to destroy our comp anymore. So whatever I do, I can just tank it down now. And this, more or less, it was a showcase of Freeran and the power of turn 2 in this case. Maid and FCC are just so powerful that you can take through most of all the damage. And Hecate, I mean, yeah, she did some damage, and the damage wasn't all too bad. But for the most part, as you've seen, this was a Freeran showcase in terms of damage, and we'll probably see this as well, yeah. So let's do damage. I mean, she did comparably good damage, but let's not forget that her S3 hits really hard, and she... I mean, it's not bad. Let's put it that way. But we all know that the brunt of the damage came from Freeran. She basically did all the nukes. Hecate just whittled them down little by little. Hecate also helped with the AoE damage that comes from the S1 proc. So it's chip damage. It's very welcome chip damage, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, she was just a passive stake. Because I could have won this 3v4. All it would have taken was a few more turns, Setsuka proccing, going down on 1 HP, and then she just dies. I mean, sure, as the Skate's passive procs, but by the time she gets another turn, it's gone, then it's just over. So yeah, she isn't as bad as I think. I mean, she is bad, don't get me wrong. And we can see why she's bad in one of my arena games. We've seen it right here in RTA. And the Moon P guy, yeah. He was the guy that picked on 3 against me, so I had native skeleton in this case. But as you can tell, this is an aggro comp. And he tried to turn 2 me down, just like I turned 2 the enemy in arena just now. He tried the same with a different twist. He even had the Festive Eater, who could technically speaking perform very well against my team. But yeah, as you can tell, this match didn't last very long. And what I feel like what Hecate needs is stealth at the beginning of the turn, because I could just whittle her down. Like, I took away her turn, I took away her immunity right here, right there. And I just straight up dumped my S3 into Hecate and just outright kills her. Sure, you can build her for 20k HP, that saves her life for 1 more turn in that case. I would still S3 here. She would get control because usually Hecate does not have any ER unless you're a Japan player who usually has 200 ER on everything. But as you can tell from my CR bar, I am about to take another turn. And even if you had a 20k HP Hecate, what would happen is when the line takes a turn and about the next rotation or here on this counter, and Hecate would have been dead. Because what usually happens is my line is on 3F and the counter deals round around 4k damage. Sure, the shield from LRK helps us survive, but at the end of the day, she would have been dead. At the very latest, she would have been dead on this very moment, and that would have been game. And from here out, it's just playing as if Hecate doesn't exist. So, and that's what I meant. At the very moment, Hecate's greatest weakness is aggro, as cleave. I was looking for a cleave game where I actually cleaved and enemy had Hecate. I sadly didn't find any, but trust me when I say this, if you're cleaving and you're facing Hecate, you're basically playing 4 units on your side versus 3 on the enemy side, because you can always clear the 3 units. Other than Hecate on the enemy, you'll be golden, because Hecate cannot win under any circumstances in such case. And yeah, I mean, what's the enemy gonna do here? He has a Genesis Ras that cannot deal with Renak. The Festive Eater also exhausted her as 1 proc. Sure, she stuns. It was a mistake. He should have attacked my Lady of the Scales here to have a small chance of killing her there, because I don't have that much HP, as you could tell. And now I have 2 stealthed units. And the Genesis Ras only has 25k HP even with a kill, and all the increased damage, he just cannot deal with these 3 units. I don't even remember, does he kill the line here? He doesn't even. And yeah, that's pretty much game. The Ras exhausted all his damage, and from there on out I would have freed the Festive Eater and whittled the Ras down, and he would have never taken a turn ever again. So that is pretty much where Hecate falls short in terms of RTA, in terms of PvP. She's a good arena unit, the NPC arena, that is for sure. And she's a fantastic Guild War unit. But sadly, as you can tell from the bottom right, it's Sunday. There's no Guild War. I could probably go through my Guild War what's it called, history and take a look at my previous attacks. But I don't think that really helps because I haven't used Hecate on Friday, if I'm totally mistaken. I didn't, so I'd have to check. What I will do instead is on Monday, tomorrow for me, that is, for you guys, it's just half a minute later. I'll just use Hecate in my guild war runs and we'll see what she performs there. And let me preface this by saying she will perform very well. Right, so see you in a second. All right, as I mentioned, let's go into the guild war. We're fighting some, I believe, Chinese guild. At least all these names, it could be Japanese. This is Japanese, but doesn't matter. I found 2 comps that I can tackle. So the first one is going to be this guy, and the other one of our guild members, for me, thankfully, inted. I won't though, brackets I hope. So we've got prepared these 2 comps here. The top one, as you can see, Prime Hecate, a victim. We have 3 units that totally revolve around A, revival, and B, immortality buff. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do Renak on top speed, my basically RTA build, high speed. We've got Hecate. She is on a protection set build, as you can see, max HP. I really don't care about the rest. This is going to be Hecate as a immortality / revival denial passive stick with the added bonus of providing a lot of HP for the Senya S2. And then we've got a more or less standard young Senya. She might get outsped by Ras when the Lady of the Scales pushes. That'd be great, because she won't lose her immunity that way. I do have some effect resistance. I am low-key nervous that she might actually get tagged and that would ruin the run, so to say. It'll be fine. Be fine. Surely. But nonetheless, the strat here is we're gonna remove stats from Ras, S3 into Ras, so we don't get randomly counted by BBK. That will proc the BBK for sure, thus kill the BBK. Unless this is a magical 20k HP BBK, in that case, hats off to this guy, he overcooked. But we should be fine nonetheless. Bottom one, yeah, this is fine. And easily solved, so we've got our protection set, Aram. I could give her, no, that doesn't make sense. So she's on Bird's Eye View. I don't need Bird's Eye View, I have more than enough souls on this comp. Protection set, lots of HP. I rebuilt my Luna for this. She has way more bulk now, 27k, so she doesn't get randomly blinded, etc, etc. And always survives an S3 from New Kid Aiden. And then we've got Genesis Ras, who hopefully won't get targeted. If he does, rack, I guess. But still, even if he gets targeted by Aiden, she won't have, what's its name, a vigor buff, so technically her damage shouldn't be that high. And we will hopefully have a little bit of HP from the shield left. So we'll see how this goes. Technically speaking, this shouldn't be losing, but I've seen this lose a few times. I don't know why. Not me. Oh my god, mates. But nonetheless, let's take it for a swing. And see where this leads us. So we are highly likely going to outspeed here. Yeah, it's not even close. The Genesis Ras will not outspeed my... what's the name? Young Senya? Okay, this doesn't seem to be a 30k HP or 20k HP BBK, so she dies right here, right there. See, yeah, the proc gets her down to her knees, it's fine. Let's see if the Ras outspeeds, maybe? That'd be great, honestly. Nope, we outsped. Honestly, I'll just press here, it's fine, whatever. Let's see. Oh, we got trucked regardless. That's good for us in that case, I suppose. That also means that Ras is going to hit into Young Senya. That was a lot of damage. That was quite some damage here. Yeah, what we're gonna do is, while we're at it, we can just work it down on the Lady of the Scales. Actually, no. Let's go for some chip damage on the Ras. I'm forced to press S1 on Renak here. We have no other option. Renak still stealthed. Hecate, because she took a turn, is also stealthed. We resisted. All good, all good. And yeah, this won't do much damage. He has only 23 KHP, 2 units of stealth. We are in zero danger here. Actually, we are in some sort of danger, but she survived. That's all that matters. Let's just... I should have pressed S2 on Lady, but whatever. We killed the Ras regardless, so it's all good. Press, push to draw or dual attack with the wrong unit, but it's fine. Renak will outspeed anyway, and then it's over. So yeah, this is a good case on how to use Lady of the Scale, not Scales, but Hecate, passive stick, let 2 other units do their job, and this whole defense was easily solved. Alright. Oh, we have the perfect rotation too, right? Yeah, it is perfect. So, yeah, I guess we win that one easily. We still have our shield on Genesis Ras, on Luna. We get to S3, so this is perfect tuning for us, I suppose. So we're gonna S3 here. Soulburn, obviously. In an unlucky scenario, my Aram lacks Ras now, but I don't think she will. She did not. So, I could raw S3. And I will raw S3. Actually, no, it really doesn't matter. If she dodges, she dodges. I can just push him back to the top. Obviously, we do miss. I'm not surprised in the slightest. I really do hate this game, but it is what it is. This will get rid of both the Aiden and our city here, or the entire team. Usually this should have been over before Aram S3s. It wasn't, so be it. Alright, I'm gonna set up my team for this guy. There won't be many changes, but a few small ones, so I'll see you right back in a second. Okay, now let's go for the second attack. Mercedes, Setsuka, Genesis Ras. This top comp is what solves this usually quite easily. I only have 100 ER on my LF, and this could very well be a 200 effectiveness Mercedes, so we'll try to mitigate some of that with the Bastion. That gets me up to 160 or 151 ER at the end of the day once all of these attacks hit. We've got a runner on released imprint, 25 KHP, 91 ER, additional healing already. We have 20 more ER from Ishia, making my Elenaf rather healthy in terms of ER, and Hassel, who is going to be our main damage dealer. And the main focus for Genesis Ras, she is on a good ER build with the Bastion, with the RD from Rana. I'm looking at around about 120 ER, almost 130 ER even. This should put us in a comfy spot where we can't get debuffed by neither Setsuka's S3 nor Genesis Ras, which leaves up only her city as the threat. We will for sure defeat her first if we see on her S3 that she can actually debuff us. I'm hopeful that she can't. And from there, we'll just go with the flow. And I'll explain why this comp works so well while we are at it. Bottom, same thing. Renak still top speed on discrete hands. This is not the build we're going for. Let me quick fix it. So I had to repurpose some gear onto Ilanov again because she usually doesn't use that gear. As you can tell, he wants to, or the game wants to use Ilanov's gear. We do not find that nice. Alright, this looks fine. I'm not using any of these units. Let's go with this. We'll also give her Sweet Miracoli. So she has around about 40k HP. She will have 40k HP because we are also on release imprint. On the end, Senya, her build stays the same. I've calculated it. Not even the best in the world. Frieren will be able to kill this young Senya with her S3. So we are fine. We're proccing, and then we'll kill the Frieren with the proc, and that'll be it. So yeah, should be nice and clean. Let's quickly check whether nobody is attacking this. Nobody is. Excellent. As you can see, Corpi failed his attack. Was rather unfortunate. Or fortunate for us. So let's go for the second fight. And see how this line performs. So Precious Connection, Ras, Lethal Whisper, Setsuka. It would appear that our Hustle is taking a turn before the other guys. We full resisted, which is very nice to see. And the cool thing about Hustle is her S3 reduces cooldown each time she gets counterattacked. Now, because this is Setsuka, we will get counterattacked a lot. And what's also really nice is that she replenishes her immunity buff. Each time she presses, it's a 3-turn immunity buff. We missed on 2 units, perfect. We get Gate of Vengeance, we get the healing, so it's really cool. And yeah, let's whittle down on the Harseti here first. It's really no matter in this case. We do not care what the Setsuka does, or any other unit for that matter. The Rana might get stripped here, so I think I'll wait 1 turn with the buff. And then we'll see 27k HP Ras, all good. Let's see the damage. Yeah, totally fine. We're also on counter sets, 3F doing the Lord's work. And with the stacking, because this attack stacks, each time I get countered, my damage increases by a lot. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna deal so much damage, it's gonna be insane. Okay, we got miss, or we missed, that's perfect for us. We get cooldown reduction and all that good stuff. I missed again, which is totally fine. We see our push. Bastion of Hope. Oh, it's injury Harseti, good to know. Yeah, even better in that case that we are focusing her down because she also reduces the damage our Hassel can dish out. Yeah, from here on out it's just a waiting game, right? There's not much that can happen. Once the Harseti is down, the game is going to be a lot smoother. Actually, I could kill Setsuka right here and there. I won't, because that pretty much guts all my damage, so I do not care one little bit that this Setsuka procs here. In fact, I will still go for the Harseti, leave the Setsuka be. Actually, the Setsuka is going to heal up quite considerably anyway. She will most likely die here regardless. Did you see that damage? Insanity. So we'll basically kill off the entire team here. Ras comes back naturally. And yeah, I mean, Ares. I really like Hustle in these situations, and especially in Guild War. See, she's so good for this. And check out this damage, 1.8k, 12k naturally from a counter. Absolute insanity, I love this unit. And yeah, Ras is going to do his S3, we do not care one little bit. Because we've got enough with us here. And yeah, it turns out the Bastion of Hope was probably hard overkill, 11k damage. On a Hustle, insanity, I love it, I really do. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, this looks totally fine. We'll reduce her stats, no need unnecessary pushes here. The BBK is not on a cheese build with 20k HP, so let's just go ahead and ruin everybody's day. I actually could have stolen stats from Frieren, I just realized. Would have probably made things a little bit easier on My young Senya, we do have the protection set shield. It's 8k, she won't survive this. 8k also means she isn't full nuke on triple torrent. She is, yeah, she's on full nuke, so she'll die here. We'll deal around about 13k, I believe. Yeah, 10k. Good enough. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I should also remove all these notifications from Discord. Arena got stunned here, whatever, off that, I should say. Just prolongs the fight. Oh, we don't even need to steal stats, but we can just finish this off. And yeah, I mean, in these counts, Hecate does work very well. Actually, very well. And this is probably the best use case for this unit. I already pre-checked all the other comps. I don't think there is much else to do here. I could try this comp, but I haven't figured out, or there's no info on how tanky this Festive Eater is. If she's 30k HP, she survives the Remark as 2S3 combo. That would be unfortunate, but I haven't figured it out. I might add this in the video. I might not. We'll see. But yeah. Alright, that'll wrap up today's video. It's long enough, honestly. I did the last attack. If you're curious on how I did it, I didn't use Hecate, obviously, otherwise this would have been in the video. But it was, whoops, a very clean sweep. Was the last one over here. I lost Christy. I didn't choose to revive her with Selene. I could have on the last attack. Would have prolonged the fight. I didn't feel like it was the last anyway. And yeah, this was unlosable with these two comps. So I wasn't feeling like reviving Christy on the last attack. And that's it. So yeah, thank you all for watching. It was a pleasure to do a video again, honestly. And the next video I'll do is my Wednesday Guild Wars. I'll record those and comment on those and how I tackle these fights. And it won't be content fights. It's just gonna be my regular attacks, as if I was serious. I have one int, and that one hint was my fault, honestly, so far this season. But it's alright. Happens. And I'll try to go with 0 ints from now on until the end of the season. So it's a clean and 98 to 1 at the end of the day, unless the season takes longer. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see each other in the next one. Peace.